Hello, everyone, and welcome to Lift Your Spirits. Lift Your Spirits is an indie game made by the developer Dear Spirit Studios. It's a game where you're a desperate college student rushing to meet the deadline of your last assignment, but things might go wrong. So let's get into it. Alone on a Friday night, and I'm spending it here. My fingers were sluggish as they typed out the last bit of conclusion needed to finish off my paper. I didn't even bother spell checking the rest, my hands dragging the cursor across to close the document. Can I read? All right, time to submit it. I typed out my regards to Mr. Holtman. Kindly, I find the attached file of assignment. Your student. Let's go. Stifling a yawn, I turned on my phone to check the time. 2:53 a.m. The universal experience of losing sleep and gaining eye bags as a college student came to grace me in this hold once again, it seems. In its hold, sorry. At least it's the weekend. Turning off the computer, it suddenly hit me how quiet it was without my fingers tapping away at the keyboard. That's relatable. Everyone else had left. The campus was open 24/7, but who else was dumb enough to push their luck by submitting their assignment this late? Dude, that would so be me. Such a procrastinator. I considered myself lucky Mr. Holtman gave me the extended deadline, otherwise I'd be screwed. Still, there were also the rumors, disembodied voices echoing through empty rooms, heavy footsteps shuffling down the halls. Those who were lucky claimed to see a black silhouette skulking around the vending machine at the end of the corridor, staring at them. It wasn't the superstitious type, or I wasn't the superstitious type, but I have to admit, the eerie silence of being the only person here gave me the creeps. I was recalling all of the gossip spread around the student body when a sound made me perk up. I glanced behind me over the monitors to see if someone had come in. Nobody. I ignored the goosebumps rising on my arms as I gathered up my items into my bag. Superstitious or not, I've done what I came here for. Time to go. I wonder what these buttons are for. Forward. This is the download, upload. Oh, full screen. There we go. After choice. Right. Okay, that's cool. I like all that. So I guess this is just more of a visual novel type game. Sort of. I shambled to the elevators and tapped the button. It rumbled to life, slowly making its way up to my floor. Just a couple more minutes and I'm out of here, I assured myself. I don't know why, but I found myself constantly checking behind me as if expecting someone there. Yet, it's always empty every time I look. I tap the button some more. The hairs at the back of my neck stood as if I was being watched. There's some footsteps. I clenched my fists, ignoring how sweaty they felt in my pockets. Oh, yeah. That's what I like to hear. Is there someone behind me? Ding. I don't have to do that. I jumped. The door slid open as I released the breath I didn't realize I was holding. I didn't even consider looking back as I stepped inside, refusing to turn around until the doors closed. The chipper background music they played calmed me down somewhat. I'm almost in disbelief they were still playing it at this hour. Almost. I pressed the button for the ground floor, the elevator moving with a small jolt. With nothing to do but wait, I stared as the number slowly descended. The lull of the elevator was starting to make me sleepy. I thought of the things I could do once I got home, just to distract myself for the rest of the ride. A shower, for sure. Wave dinner, probably. I blinked up at the flickering lights. The elevator shuddered and came to an abrupt halt. The music cut out. I tried the button for the ground floor, then the rest. Unresponsive. Pushing the intercom button gave me nothing but static. Hello? No, 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 this can't be happening. Taking a moment to compose myself, I called out. I. Is anyone out there? I'm stuck in here. Help! I started slamming the doors as panic took hold. There had to be someone out there. Help! Please, I'm in here. Ugh, my cringe voice. I didn't stop for a good minute, getting more and more desperate as tears welled up in my eyes. Why? Why now? Why me? I knocked my forehead against the door in a slump, ready to curl up and cry. This sucks. I was about to turn before I felt a chill run up my spine. The air felt heavy. Is this claustrophobia setting in? I didn't think I had a fear of closed spaces, unless there was a raspy moan from behind me. I turned my head, screamed. Across me was a growing blotch of darkness and oozing mass that seemed to melt through the walls. I scrambled away, my back flat against the doors. A hand emerged from the writhing form, grasping at the edges. Foul-smelling black ichor dripped from its fingers. Another arm followed suit, clinging to the other side. I couldn't look away. That seemed pretty normal. I couldn't find my voice to scream. The face took shape. A pair of hollow eyes and a manic grin with several teeth. It seemed to smile directly at me. I blacked out. Dude, I'd probably pass out too. Let's be real. Up. Wake up. Hey! I heard a voice panicked and flustered from above me. I don't trust you. A person was looming over me, visibly worried as I blinked back into consciousness. You're alive. I couldn't really check for a pulse, so anyway, are you alright? Think so. Ill, don't touch me, creep. Can you save right? Oh, is this what this is? Oh, you can. Okay, cool. I'll do ill, don't touch me, creep. Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to. Just give me some space, will you? I realized I was still in the elevator, but now with a stranger twiddling their thumbs in front of me. They were taller than me, looming a few good inches past my head. Their limbs looked even more awkward in the baggy sweater they had. I wasn't sure if they forgot to wash away their makeup or if they just haven't slept for 3 days straight. Possibly both. I realized they were staring at me as well, their eyes focused on me a little too long as if they'd forgotten how to blink. So I suddenly remembered the last thing I saw, that creepy shadow from the walls. Before you were here, there was something crawling out of the walls. I I know it sounds insane, but I swear it looked straight out of a horror movie. You look nervous. It was you, wasn't it? It was you, monster girl. Yep, sandwich anyone? The stranger looked nervous. Crap, they think I'm nuts. Don't look at me like that. No, I believe you, for sure. You saw it too? Well, sort of. Sorry, I was really trying to be sneaky. That must have been uncomfortable to watch, huh? Come again. What are you saying? Well, I heard you yelling for help and I couldn't just leave you alone, so I did the next best thing I could. Nice, I can save here too. Based in story build. You saying that was you? What kind of sick joke is this? We're still gonna stick with the negative. What kind of sick joke is this? I, I was just trying to help. Oops. I know you can do the right click. There's really no easy way to say this. I'm not alive, not the way you are. Did they mean, you mean like a ghost? The stranger lit up appreciatively. Basically, you must have heard the rumors, right? Well, it's me. In the flesh. Well, sans the flesh. Believe them, stick your hand through them. I'm gonna keep saving. They're probably gonna give me a million one choices. This is probably so useless. Or I'm overdoing it. Let's see, I'll save like the last spot. I think I'll do that. I'll save the last spot. Believe them, stick your hand. I'm gonna stick my hand right through them. My hand shot out before I could think twice. What? The tips of my fingers instantly felt airy and ice cold, like touching something solid, yet not. The stranger yelped and backed away. Hey, do you just go around sticking your fingers in the people you just met? Sorry, I thought you were messing with me. The stranger was having none of it. Ugh, why do I even bother? If you sit tight and don't do anything stupid, they'll come find you in the morning. They shifted into a familiar black shapeless entity, melting into a puddle and disappearing through the floor. Exactly the same way they had entered. I found myself alone for the next 7 hours. The workers found me half dozing in a corner the next morning. I stayed late most nights on campus to see if the stranger would show up, but it seems they're ignoring me on purpose. I never saw them again. Bad in rude awakening. Yeah, I deserve that. mm, you know what? I'm gonna go back here, and then I'm just gonna be nice all the way through. What did she just say? I totally forgot actually. Right click. Oh, history. Here we go. Living a real person. You are right. I think so. Whew. I'm glad. Didn't mean to scare you back there. I realized I was still in the elevator, but now with a stranger twiddling their thumbs in front of me. They were taller than me, looming a few good inches past my head. Their limbs looked even more awkward in the baggy sweater they had. I wasn't sure if they forgot to wash their makeup, or if they just haven't slept for 3 days straight, possibly both. I realized they were staring at me as well. Their eyes focused on me a little too long as if they'd forgotten how to blink. Um, so I suddenly remembered the last thing I saw, that creepy shadow from the walls. Before you were here, there was something crawling out of the walls. I know it sounds insane, but I swear it looks straight out of a horror movie. The stranger looked nervous. Crap, they think I'm nuts. Don't look at me like that. No, I believe you for sure. You saw it too. Well, sort of. Sorry, I was really trying to be sneaky. That must have been uncomfortable to watch, huh? Come again? What are you saying? Well, I heard you yelling for help and I couldn't just leave you alone, so I did the next best thing I could. Are you saying it was you? I'll say it that. Are you saying it was you? Yes, in a way. There's really no easy way to say this. I'm not alive. Not the way you are. Did they mean. You mean like a ghost? The stranger lit up appreciatively. Basically, you must have heard the rumors, right? Well, it was me. Or, sorry, well, it's me, in the flesh. Well, sans the flesh. I'll just say believe them. I feel like this isn't the worst situation to be meeting a ghost for the first time. The stranger gave a sigh of relief. Thank you for trusting me. I'd ask for your name, but I already know that it's Afo. How did you? I've been watching you for a while. Excuse me? Tonight, I've been watching you for a while tonight. It's not safe to be alone this late. I would know. Oh, I don't like that. Before I could ask any further, before I could ask further, they straightened. Anyways, I stuck around to see you write your paper. I don't necessarily agree with your hypothesis, but interesting nonetheless. Thanks. I think nobody asked for your opinion. We'll save this here too. I'm gonna say thanks, I think. They gave a shy smile. No problem. This wasn't the way I expected my night to go, but I guess the sooner I accepted it, the better. I should probably ask for their name instead of calling them stranger. You know my name. What about yours? Oh. They looked away, fingers picking at their sleeve. I don't remember. I know who I was and what I did when I was alive, but not my name. Strange, isn't it? Have you ever thought of picking one yourself? Their eyes widened as if the thought never occurred to them. I never needed a name, but if I were to have one, I've always liked the way Alma sounds. Perfect sounds stupid. Okay, I'm gonna say it's perfect. Their smile widened. Actually, you know what? I don't think I really need to save like that. I think if I'm just deciding to be like completely nice and understanding throughout this whole playthrough, then I'll just stick to that and it's fine. Like it doesn't take long to get to these, I don't think. Their smile widened. Wild smiling. Thank you, Afo. Alma went back to twiddling their fingers. We stood in silence for a while, gauging on what to say next. glancing back at their hands, wondering if they'd feel as solid as they looked. They knew I was staring, but didn't seem to mind, waiting patiently in front of me. My thoughts were running wild from sleep deprivation and shock to actually form words past our introductions, to be honest. They started humming softly, as if to fill the silence. That's when it hit me. For a ghost, they could easily be a student just like me. I have to ask, how did you, um, Alma had a knowing look in her eyes. Oh man, it's honestly kind of embarrassing. Insist or back down. I feel like this one is worth a save. Yeah, we can over. Wait, where's the yes option? What the? Oh, there it is. No or yeah? I'm Adolf Hitler. Sorry. Insist or back down. Let's see if it's insist. I'll just go back to that save. Despite having no blood flowing through their veins, their cheeks seemed to darken. We we don't have to get into it, but I really want to know, please. I. They hesitated before nodding. Promise you won't make fun of me? Promise. Okay. So, I was staying late working on an assignment, just like you. No one was around, even back when I was known as a loner most of the time. It didn't bother me. While I was working, I got thirsty. No big deal. So I headed over to the vending machine for a drink. They paused, hands shaking. They clasped their wrists and twisted before continuing. Just a soda, not too much to ask, right? Paid for the damn thing, but somehow my hand got stuck in the dispenser. So I pulled, and, well, they struggled a bit before I waved for them to continue. It fell. I felt my whole body being crushed under the weight. I couldn't even cry out for help. And the whole time, my hand was still stuck on that thing. Not that I could even tell. I think my risk was beyond saving at that point. They sunk into themselves. I died, trying to get some cheap soda. How pathetic is that? I actually don't think that's pathetic. That just sucks. Kinda sounded like you deserved it. Oh my god. It's not, I'm sorry that happened to you. I put my hand over theirs. It passed right through, giving an ice cold chill at my fingertips, but Alma seemed to appreciate it nevertheless. They looked up at me, their nervous hand finally coming to a stop. I've never told anyone about it before. I didn't think it would feel like this freeing. Thank you. Y- you know, I think you're really a really great person. I want to help you get out of here. I tilted my head. How are you going to do that? I can try some things. That is, if you trust me. What? I can't. Okay, yeah, I guess I'll trust Alma. They clapped their hands excitedly. Okay, here we go. You might want to hold on to something. Before I could ask further, the elevator began to drop. My heart plunged into my throat as my weight shifted upwards. Alma! Hang on, let me focus. Buttons for each floor flashed before me. I closed my eyes shut and decided to trust them. It felt like a roller coaster heading straight to the ground. The air whizzed around me. I grit my teeth and clenched my hands, knuckles probably white if I bothered to look. And just like that, it stopped. I yelped as the elevator jolted. I landed on my ass with a smack. I blinked my eyes open to see Alma clapping excitedly. Okay, dog, you lived through that, but when I've seen people go through, okay, I've seen like a lot of crazy videos, and I watch that YouTuber Scary Interesting who talks about disasters. When people drop suddenly, that does not happen. I know we're living in a world right now where it's like there's a literal ghost talking to me on a college campus. Okay, so I know to suspend my disbelief, but it just doesn't compute to me all the way. Sorry. They looked over to see me on the floor and gestured towards the doors. It creaked open, as if manually pulled apart by an unseen force. My jaw dropped as I realized they really did bring me to the ground floor. You really did it. I did it. Oh, sorry. I did. I did. I never thought no, I never got to do that before. I couldn't believe my eyes. I stood and threw my arms around Alma, only to completely pass through them. They yelped and backed away to the wall. Give me a signal before you do that. I don't appreciate feeling hands inside of me. It's gross. Sorry. I gathered myself and stepped through the doors, Alma following suit. Sure enough, the lobby was empty, the clock on the wall indicating it was close to 4 a.m. now. Well, I guess this is it. I turned to see them trying hard not to reach for their hands, fingers twitching to intertwine with one another. It all happened so fast. It sunk in that now I could leave and go home right now if I wanted to. Alma, thank you. I appreciate it. They nod understandingly. I stood there for a moment as they looked at me, before averting my eyes. They were waiting for me to leave. I grasped my phone inside my pocket, mustering the courage to ask what I was about to ask. Would you ever want to hang out again? They did a double take. Huh? Would you want to hang out? Yes! But but why would you want to? Why wouldn't I? I like you. Once again, their cheeks darkened despite being them. Wait, is that did I say that right? I like you too. Yeah, I'd love to hang out again. Great, preferably when I'm, not stuck and helpless in an elevator. My heart skipped a beat as they laughed slightly. Preferably, of course. I'll see you next week. Yeah, don't worry about it, a time or place. I can always find you, wherever you are in the building. Kind of unsettling, but okay. Stay safe, Atho. I waved and headed towards the entrance, pulling my phone out to call for a driver from one of my apps. When I turned to look back, Alma was already gone. Good end, too. Friends for life? Or more. She's a literal ghost, so yeah. Let's go back to. Do we still have to get. I think I got bad end 1, and I got good end 2. So cool. What would be a different one? No, not this one. We'll do this one. Go back down. Ah, I guess I don't have to tell you then. That's alright. I heaved a sigh and moved to sit down, leaning against the doors. Alma looked on curiously. What are you doing? I shrugged and took out my phone to look for a time wasting app. In no time, I had one of my mindless games open. Might as well settle in and spend the next few hours trying to beat my high score. Not much I can do right now. Got some battery to last a couple hours. I pat down a spot next to me. You want to watch? I almost stood for a moment, as if unsure. Come on, plenty of room for both. Just watch your legs, Linky. They settled in beside me, sitting crisscross applesauce, and leaned over to look at my phone. My shoulder immediately chilled at their close proximity, but I didn't bother bringing it up. We chatted amicably as my fingers tapped away at the screen, Alma getting more invested the higher my numbers got. But otherwise, it was peaceful company. A few hours passed. I must have dozed off at some point, as the next thing I knew, there was some whirling behind me that woke me up with a jolt. Voices began to call out, and I turned to see some workers prying the door open for me. It took no time for me to step outside when their work was done. The sunlight shining over me made it feel like everything that happened last night was a dream. I turned my phone on to look at the time. Instead, I saw an unsent message typed out on the screen. Be safe. Careful about staying late next time. I blinked and looked around. A cold chill went up my arm, and I almost turned to expect Alma, but saw nothing. Next time. I put my phone away and rubbed my bleary eyes, mentally making a note to stay back at the campus more frequently from now on. Good N1. Till next time. Okay, so it looks like I just have to go get a bad end. Because I saw that there were 4 endings to this game. Trust a creep. Believe them, stick your hand through them. No. Let's back down. Thanks, I think. Nobody asked for your opinion. Let's do that. Oh, sorry. This wasn't the way I expected my night to go, but I guess the sooner I accepted it, the better. I should probably ask what their name is instead of calling them a stranger. Okay, so this is where you're asking for a name. You don't remember. How do I get this bad in? It sounds stupid. Yeah, let's do that. Alma sounds stupid. Oh, no need to be rude about it. Alma went back to twiddling their fingers. We stood in silence for a while, gauging on what to say next. I kept glancing back at their hands, wondering if they feel as solid as they looked. They knew I was staring, but didn't seem to mind, waiting patiently in front of me. My thoughts running wild from sleep deprivation and shock to actually form words, past their introductions, to be honest. They started humming softly as if to fill the silence. That's when it hit me. For a ghost, they could easily be a student just like me. I have to ask, how did you, oh man, it's honestly embarrassing. See, it's like the same thing. Let's insist. Despite having no blood flowing through their cheeks, hold on, we don't have to get into it. But I really want to know, please. He hesitated before nodding. Promise you won't make fun of me. Just like you. Oh, you know what it is? It's probably getting to that point where she asks if it's like dumb, and then you say like, haha, you kind of deserved it. Yeah, here it is. Kind of sounded like you deserved it. Alma's eyes shrunk into thin slits. You, why are you being mean to me? The lights dimmed, a fuzzy static rising in the air. A heavy weight settled into my chest as Alma stared me down. Their height only made me shrink further. I've done nothing but be nice to you. All I wanted to do was help, and yet everything went dark. I stepped back as rasping voices came from in front of me. Sounds of shuffling and bone snapping. My back hit the wall. It was cold, colder than anything I've ever felt. It hurt to breathe as I waited in the dark for something to happen. Hello? Oh, this is cool as shit, actually. I love this drawing. I know the realistic eyes are a little bit, but I actually really like that. This is so good. The emergency lights turned on. Alma no longer looked human. Multiple eyes writhed across their form, tiny slits with red pupils judging me. Mouths cackled and taunted, whispering, "You deserve this, you deserve this, you deserve this." Wait. My feet buckled as the elevator began to drop, free falling as gravity's pull took over. The buttons began to light up one by one as we fell by each floor, faster and faster as it gained speed. The scraping of metal was loud in my ears. I dropped to my knees, begging for it to stop. And stop it did. Splat. Bad into. You deserved it. We can look at the preferences. Oh yeah, I already did that. So I guess that's all four endings for Lift Your Spirits. I actually really like this. The visual novel style games are pretty cool. The artist's art is pretty cool. Again, this is made by, let's see, what was it? What was it? It says the author is Deer Sphere Studios on Itch.io, and they have one for the artist. Ah, okay. The art is done by Rnubs. I don't see the coding. I'll put all their credits down in the comments, of course, when I upload this. So anyway, that's been Lift Your Spirit. Um, Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Adios.